The Coyote Twin, Vermilion's downtown theater. Providing entertainment Thursdays through Sundays.
Tonight, South Dakota homecoming celebrations continue.
It's D-Days. We'll have that and more coming up. Coyote News starts right now.
Live from the Al Newharth Media Center, this is Coyote News.
South Dakota has moved up to second in NIL store rankings. Welcome to Coyote News. I'm Xander Hull.
And I'm Ava Sevening. Dakota Days kicked off this week with the Coyote Carnival. The carnival featured games, music, and booths run by student organizations. They included a ring toss, bull riding simulator, and inflatable basketball. In the past, this event was held inside. This year, the committee felt that it was time for a change.
We're just seeing just low student attendance and just low school spirits. We just kind of wanted to revamp it, do something a little bit more for the community as well. Just give students an opportunity for something outside.
The carnival ended with the dog race, hot dog eating contest, and announcement of homecoming royalty. The Dakota Days Committee says they are very thankful for the student turnout this year and hope to see just as many Coyotes next year. It's time to vote for Dakota Days King and Queen. Each full-time undergraduate student can vote up to 2 candidates. Voting is now open and closes tomorrow at midnight. Voting must take place in one sitting as there are only a 10-minute window to complete it. The top 2 will be announced at halftime during the football game against UNI on Saturday.
Shuttle buses will be running a continuous route around Vermilion for community members to travel to and from Saturday's events. The route map will make stops at Prentice Park, the West Lot, Alumni Street, and other places across town. The buses will run from 8 in the morning until 6 at night. A full map of the bus route can be found online at the university's website. To talk about this week's celebration, Coyote News' Parker Orr is live in the muck with a Dakota Days executive member. Parker?
Thanks, Xander. I'm with Zena Aragon, co-president of Dakota Days Committee, to talk about this week's homecoming festivities. Zena, what has been added to this Dakota Days program that wasn't there before?
Yeah, so on Monday we had our kickoff carnival, which we had our first Dakota Days dog race, which we had the fraternities do that. It was adorable if you guys were there. We also had our second annual hot dog eating contest. And then we also added, all the carnival rides. So that wasn't there prior. This year we also did Rise and Dine, which had mocktails and bagels from Einstein's, which was just here on Tuesday. And the other thing that we changed this year is we had Yote Float Fest, which is going to be on Friday at 19 Brewing. And we're going to have their homemade root beer and cow and spoon ice cream.
And that carnival was moved outside this year. How did this event benefit from being moved outside, and what inspired that change?
Yeah, so in previous years, it's been inside in the SCSC. We wanted something more interactive with both the students and the community members. So as we had bouncy houses, we told all the kids at the school parades that Monday, and it just was, a livelier interaction, and it really brought up the students and community.
Personally, what is your favorite part of Dakota Days for the schedule?
It has to be the hot dog eating contest. Go Alex and go Josh, first and second place. It's just always so fun, and it really interacts all the student and faculty in that part.
And then for the rest of the weekend, the events for Saturday, what is going on for Saturday's schedule?
Yeah, so the parade starts at 9 a.m. From the Vermilion High School all the way down to City Hall. And that's going to start at 9, probably end at 11. We have over 100 parade entries right now. And that doesn't even include if Kristi Noem comes or other governmental officials. And then we go straight to tailgate that starts at 12:30, I believe, and then into the Dakota Days game.
Thank you so much for making it out here, Zena. For Coyote News, I'm Parker Orr.
Thanks, Parker. For the full schedule of events, check out the Dakota Days page on USD Involved.
After ranking 4th in NIL sales for top-selling schools back in August, USD is climbing even higher in the ranks. South Dakota is now 2nd behind Nebraska for top-selling schools in September. 3 athletes even made it in the top-earning female athletes for the month. Volleyball's Morgan Bode is ranked 2nd, In women's basketball, had 2 athletes make it in the top 10, with Addison Klosterber ranking 4th and Olivia Kiefer ranking 9th. Visit NIL.store for a look at South Dakota's NIL apparel.
With just a few weeks until the election, 2 USD organizations are going head-to-head. The annual debate between college Democrats and college Republicans is happening tonight. The issues being debated include foreign policy, healthcare, and education. The event takes place tonight at 7 in Old Maine's Farber Hall. Coming up, how one club is making campus more sustainable. You're watching Coyote News.
The University of South Dakota's Department of Media and Journalism.
You're never gonna know.
Fostering students' talent and creativity through the art of filmmaking. Share your stories. Bring your ideas to life. Discover your passion. Find your voice. Join USD's Department of Media and Journalism today.
This is Coyote News.
Former South Dakota Senator Tim Johnson has died at age 77. Johnson was first elected to Congress in 1986 and was the last Democrat to hold statewide office in South Dakota. He was keen at securing federal funding for projects for the state during his nearly 3 decades spent in Washington. He retired from the Senate in 2015. Johnson died last night surrounded by family. Funeral arrangements have not been released. Hurricane Milton is heading towards Florida, 2 weeks since Hurricane Helene hit the region. Milton is predicted to hit shore tonight, putting the entire Tampa Bay region and southern cities at great risk. Governor Ron DeSantis declared a state of emergency on Saturday for a majority of Florida's 67 counties. Authorities have issued mandatory evacuation orders across 11 counties with a population of almost 6 million people. Milton was first listed as a Category 5 hurricane and has weakened to a Category 4, but still is a very powerful storm capable of major damage.
The Nepalese Student Association is hosting Nepalese Night featuring Deshane. The event takes place in the Muck Ballroom on Sunday night from 5 to 8. USD students get in free, but seats are limited, so make sure to grab a ticket. Food will be available and traditional Nepali attire is optional.
One club on campus is dedicated to helping students and the community be more sustainable. The Environmental Club recently gathered to help fine arts students and staff clean up their garden in preparation for oncoming winter weather. Cabot Johnson is the president of the Environmental Club.
I really like being able to create a sense of community around sustainability on campus. It's fun to see people with similar interests get really excited about the work that we do. I just really like meeting people.
The Environmental Club has previously helped with the Clay County Park Revitalization Project, where they helped with seed processing as well as building a compost bin for the Vermilion Community Garden. The club will help with the cleanup for the Dakota Days Parade this week on Saturday. Sculpture students learned how to turn junk iron into fine art. Using a 2,200-degree oven, students broke up and melted over 900 pounds of iron. Then they poured the molten iron into sand and ceramic molds they had previously built in their sculpture class. Fine arts student Mia Jones took part in the pour.
You can get a lot of networking done, you meet a lot of local artists, and it teaches you a lot about community in the art place as well, and learning how to melt a bunch of iron, which is just fun.
Students will now begin preparing for their next project. In addition to iron, the class will also use aluminum, bronze, brass, and silver for other pours.
Fraternities and sororities are hosting fundraising events this week, including a chance to pet goats. Delta Tau Delta will be hosting Delt Dogs to raise money for the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. Phi Delta Theta is hosting their 2nd annual Goats and Floats. There will be goats to pet, root beer floats, and food, along with a Pie a Phi event where people can throw whipped cream pies at members of the chapter. The money raised will go to the Live Like Lou Foundation. Alpha Z Delta is having a chili feed where all proceeds will be given to the Foster Network. More information regarding the fundraisers can be found on the USD Involved page. Monday is Indigenous Peoples Day. The day celebrates and honors Indigenous American peoples and commemorates their histories and cultures. It is celebrated on the second Monday in October across the United States. There's no school on Monday and classes will resume as normal on Tuesday. Next on Coyote Sports, a soccer coach breaks a school record.
And women's swim and dive duels against Minnesota State.
Day in and day out. From one field on to the next. Dedicated, restorative, and driven. To the American farmer who represents the roots of our country, we thank you for all you do.
This is Coyote News.
Football remained undefeated in the conference play. This is Coyote Sports. I'm Mohammed.
And I'm Jacob Pierce. Women's soccer head coach Michael Thomas broke a program record. Coyote News' Trevin Ricklick caught up with Thomas.
On Sunday, the USD soccer team defeated Kansas City 4-2. This marked the 50th career win for Michael Thomas, which is the most in USD program history.
It's meaningful to me. Some of the best things that happened on Sunday was after the game when, well, first I got to celebrate with my son, but then I had a bunch of the players that had played for me here reach out to me.
While the record may belong to Thomas, he has to give some credit back to the players that helped him achieve it.
Thank all the players that played for me, and each and every one of you was a part of this, and I'm standing here because of the work that the players have put in.
Thomas isn't done winning yet, as he has 5 more regular season games left, but he is pleased with what he's done.
We're very proud of what we've done here. The goals have been simple, and it's each and every day just to be a little bit better than we were the day before.
Izzy Quintavalli was awarded the Player of the Week in the Summit League after the win against Kansas City as Thomas's team continues to get better. Reporting for Coyote News, I'm Trevor Ricklick.
His next chance to extend his wins record is Friday against rival SDSU.
The Summit League announced the preseason's ranking for women's and men's basketball yesterday. SDSU was selected as the women's #1 team for the 5th straight year, while Kansas City was picked on the men's side. USD was selected 4th for women's, while the men's team was selected for 7th. Seniors Grace Larkins and Caleb Stewart were both selected to the first team after each averaged 15.6 points per game last year. 6 of the 9 teams on the men's side earned first place votes.
The football team played for the first time in Murray in a winning effort against Murray State. In a 59-0 victory, multiple Coyotes had good days, with Travis Tice and Charles Pierre Jr. both getting 3 touchdowns. Aiden Bowman would be efficient, completing 73% of his passes on the afternoon. South Dakota as a team would gain over 500 yards of offense while forcing 4 turnovers from the Racers. UNI comes to the Dakota Dome this weekend for Dakota Days. Coyote News' Maggie Bishop is live in the muck with Stephen Carlson to talk about what all goes into getting ready for Dakota Days. Maggie?
Thanks, Jacob. I'm here with Steve Carlson to talk about his role in the upcoming game this Saturday. Steve, how has the transition been coming from D2 and now to D1?
It's been pretty good, you know, a lot more focusing on just football and really covering the Coyotes the way they deserve, being top 10 ever since stepping foot on campus has been a lot of fun. So it's just a lot more football-centric instead of trying to worry about volleyball, football, soccer, cross-country, all of that at the same time. It really allows me to pigeonhole into one sport.
And how has this week been any different from any other week?
You know, to be honest with you, it's just another game week to me. My role is to produce the best possible content, to put the Yotes in the best spotlight heading into homecoming weekend against UNI. So for me, it's, you know, making sure my game notes are ready to go for the media, so our radio and TV crews are ready to go, and that when the game day environment rolls around, that the fans don't miss a beat and they're ready to cheer on the Yotes.
And how will you keep your energy up from now until this upcoming Monday?
A lot of caffeine, a lot of sleepless nights, but, you know, just anything to keep the Yotes on the winning verge, to cover them the best they can, social media, content-wise, whatever it takes.
And how will you decompress after this super stressful week?
Oh, that is a great question. You know, that won't happen until this time next week, as I immediately start flipping the notes, looking for Youngstown State. But, you know, the team's locked in on UNI, but I can't wait to get home and read some books.
Thanks for being here with us today, Steve. Live in the Muck for Coyote News, and I'm Maggie Bishop.
Thanks, Maggie. This is the first matchup against UNI since they beat the Coyotes 58-14 in 2022.
Volleyball tried to rebound against Omaha after a 3-set loss to St. Thomas Thursday night. The Mavericks took set 1 from the Coyotes 25-18, but South Dakota rebounded in the second set, winning 25-22. Omaha would pull away in the end and take sets 3 and 4, defeating USD 3-1. Lauren Medic led the Coyotes with 15 kills and 15 digs as she picked up her 5th double-double of the season. South Dakota faces North Dakota tomorrow night as they try to snap a 2-game skid. Over at the Wellness Center, Intramurals hosted their annual fundraiser, Big Pink Volleyball. The tournament has raised money for breast cancer research for more than 10 years. This year, they're raising money for Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. Assistant Director of Intramurals Connor Singheisen found out about the library when he had his first daughter. He told Vermilion's United Way about the program, and they decided to support it.
Any parent can sign their children up ages 0 to 5. It sends 1 free book a month, curated from a collection based on librarian suggestions that help with development of reading and word development. It helps with speech. But it sends a free book to a kid every month from 0 to 5. So it's an awesome program that we're really happy to be a part of, and we're hoping to raise a lot of money for.
9 teams made up of 60 students participated in the tournament. Donations were gathered in September for the Imagination Library and will continue through this week. Those interested in donating can stop by the Wellness Center.
The swimming and diving teams kicked off their regular season. The women's team faced off against Minnesota State on Saturday in the Dome Pool in a head-to-head duel of former North Central Conference rivals. South Dakota would claim the victory 204-93, winning 15 of 16 events. Emily Kahn won both the 50 and 100-meter freestyle. Emily DeProspero and Ashley Koenig claimed their first career wins. The women's team faces off against Iowa State in another head-to-head duel in 2 weeks. 2 Vermilion teams finished in the top 3 at state meets. The boys golf team went to West Central competing in the 101-player Class A state tournament. The Tanagers finished second behind Dakota Valley by 14 points. Trey Hansen finished 5th in birdies with 6. The girls' tennis team finished in 3rd in Rapid City behind St. Thomas More and Sioux Falls Christian with a score of 355 points. In 7 of the 9 different brackets, Vermilion finished in 5th or higher. Katie Yoon claimed both a singles and doubles title as she led the Tanagers. Boys soccer is also competing in their state tournament as they face 5-seed Belle-Fourche in Saturday, with the winner going to the championship match. That's it for Coyote Sports.
When we come back, we ask students what should be added to Dakota Days Week. Stay with us.
Do you feel tired and anxious at times? Do you feel like you can't focus on your school assignments? Exercising might be your solution. It helps you feel less anxious and gloomy. You can relax better and you suffer less from stress. You will get more energy, sleep better, and find it less difficult to remember all your courses. So move your body and be your own change.
This is Coyote News.
The winner of Alaska's Fat Bear contest finished ahead of the bear that killed her cub. Grazer won her second Fat Bear contest yesterday after beating Chunk by more than 40,000 votes. Fans cast votes online for their favorite bear after watching live cameras of Alaska's Katmai National Park and Preserve. Grazer's cub died after it slipped over a waterfall and was killed by Chunk. Grazer then fought Chunk in an effort to save her cub, but the effort failed. The cub's death was captured on the park's live stream. Dakota Days isn't the only homecoming event that's happening this week. Up in Brookings, South Dakota State is celebrating Hobo Days.
We asked our ex-followers which homecoming they are attending. Well, obviously Dakota Days.
I'll have to agree with you on that one. I love to support my fellow Coyotes. Let's take a look at the results.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
0% for Hobo Days.
0%.
Follow our X page for more weekly polls. The carnival, street dance, and parade are all events that are celebrated for Dakota Days.
We asked students which event should be added to the homecoming week schedule.
Here's what they had to say.
A Halloween costume contest.
Pep rally, I think, but like more focused on like tumbling because I think it's cool.
I would add a beanbag sack race because I think they're really fun to watch because it's funny to see everyone like fall over.
I would add a concert just because it's something for students to do and I think a lot of people would go to it.
A lot of bouncy houses because they're fun and you can get into races with your friends.
I think a massive game of either laser tag or paintball would be great, and they could set it up in the dome and make it a whole thing.
Skydiving, because one, I've always wanted to do it, and two, I think that would be actually amazing, so.
Probably we go to space, and then we bar crawl all of the planets, and then we put a USD flag on Mars.
I think it'd be cool if we got like water balloons and we threw them at each other. I'd like that.
I think we should do like a Royal Rumble or like a wrestling match with Charlie Coyote, and whoever wins or beats him gets just a massive payout.
I'd have to agree with the last guy. Wrestling Charlie Coyote, that sounds like a blast.
I would have to agree with the girl who said conquer Mars, and because we're already doing it,
Yeah.
so let's do it.
I agree.
I'm with Jacob on this one. Like seeing that wrestling match, that would be a sight to see, definitely.
That'd be funny.
What about you?
I would agree with the Mars.
That's all for Coyote News.
Pick up the volant for a look at how local law enforcement prepares for homecoming celebrations.
Listen to 91.1 for news updates throughout the week and for coverage of your USD sports.
Don't forget to follow our social media pages for daily updates and the weekly poll. Have a great night.